Central America's beauty shines by diverse nations defined. History's tapestry, cultures bloom, and one country's dream. But why isn't Central America one country? Welcome back to Zipic Productions. Well, Central America is a region that has long captured the imagination of scholars, policymakers, and curious minds alike. Nestled between North and South America, it comprises 7 countries: Belize, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, and Panama. Despite sharing a common geographical location and a history shaped by similar colonial legacies, Central America remains a collection of separate nations. But why? Let's explore the reasons behind Central America's division and the factors that have contributed to the persistence of separate nations in this diverse and intriguing region. So Central America's fragmentation is deeply rooted in its colonial history. The region was part of the vast Spanish Empire during the Age of Exploration, and each present-day country was colonized separately. This colonial legacy left an indelible mark on the region's political, cultural, and social fabric. Central America's Spanish conquest kick-started with Christopher Columbus's Caribbean arrival in 1492. Later, explorers like Hernán Cortés and Pedro de Alvarado ventured into the Isthmus. They encountered vibrant indigenous cultures such as the Maya in modern Guatemala and Honduras, and the Aztecs in Mexico. Unfortunately, the conquest was a brutal affair, characterized by violence, forced labor, and the imposition of Catholicism. The Spanish crown took charge and set up colonial administrations in these territories. However, the region's challenging geography led to somewhat independent operations in each area. These initial divisions sowed the seeds for Central America's future fragmentation as they struggled to unite under a single banner due to their distinct colonial legacies. Central America was administratively divided into separate captaincies general, each with its own governance structure. For example, Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador were part of the Captaincy General of Guatemala, while Nicaragua and Costa Rica were part of the Captaincy General of Nicaragua. These divisions perpetuated regional identities and rivalries, contributing to the eventual emergence of distinct nations. In the early 19th century, Central America, like many other Spanish colonies, had its eyes set on independence. In 1821, when Mexico successfully broke free from Spain, Central America initially hopped on board with the Mexican Empire. However, this partnership didn't last long. Central American leaders, spearheaded by figures like José Cecilio de Valle and Manuel José Arce, soon yearned for their own independence. By 1823, they did just that. Central America declared independence from both Spain and Mexico, creating the United Provinces of Central America. This union included present-day Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and Nicaragua. Unfortunately, the federation grappled with internal strife, power struggles, and governance disputes, eventually crumbling and dissolving in 1838. The geopolitical factors that have contributed to Central America's fragmentation are numerous and complex. These factors include territorial disputes, foreign interventions, and the strategic interests of external powers. Territorial disputes have cropped up repeatedly in Central America's past. A prime example is the 1969 football war between El Salvador and Honduras. This short yet intense conflict erupted due to tensions surrounding immigration, land rights, and even a soccer game. These disputes underscore the delicate nature of regional relationships and how seemingly trivial issues can spark major conflicts. Central America has seen its fair share of foreign meddling, especially throughout the 20th century. The United States, in particular, wielded significant influence over the region's political landscape. Take the Banana Wars, for instance, where American military interventions in places like Honduras and Nicaragua aimed at safeguarding U.S. economic interests. Then the Cold War came along and further stirred the pot. The U.S.-backed anti-communist governments and rebel groups, which ignited civil wars in countries like El Salvador, Guatemala, and Nicaragua. These conflicts not only led to immense loss of life, but also solidified national identities and rivalries, leaving a lasting mark on Central America's history. The Panama Canal, a key global waterway linking the Atlantic and Pacific, has also played a pivotal role in shaping Central America's geopolitics. In 1903, with a nudge from the U.S., Panama broke free from Colombia, largely thanks to its strategic position. The United States then held sway over the canal zone until 1999, underscoring the region's susceptibility to outside influences and highlighting its ongoing divisions. Central America boasts a rich tapestry of cultures, languages, and traditions. the diversity within the region has contributed chiefly to the persistence of separate identities and nations. Alright, Central America also boasts a rich tapestry of indigenous communities, each with unique languages, traditions, and rich histories. Take the Maya civilization, whose profound cultural influence lingers in Guatemala and Honduras. These indigenous groups fiercely preserve their distinct identities, steadfastly resisting assimilation into the larger national cultures that surround them. Language serves as a potent emblem of identity in Central America. Spanish holds sway as a primary language, yet it dances to distinct tunes in each country, unveiling captivating variations in dialects. Meanwhile, Belize stands alone among its Central American peers, embracing English as its official language, a testament to its historical connections with the British Empire. This linguistic mosaic paints a vivid picture of the region's rich and diverse cultural tapestry. Ethnic diversity adds another layer to Central America's intricate tapestry. Here, you'll find a mosaic of ethnic groups, from Afro-Caribbean communities along the Caribbean coast to mestizos, who boast a blend of indigenous and European heritage, and the indigenous communities that thrive in the region's heartland. These ethnic nuances weave a fascinating complexity into the fabric of Central American identity, making it as diverse as the lands it encompasses. Economic gaps within Central America have also deepened its divisions. While certain nations enjoy growth and stability, others grapple with persistent poverty and inequality, painting a stark contrast across the region's economic landscape. Economic inequalities stand out prominently in Central America, where nations like Costa Rica shine with higher living standards and diversified economies. In stark contrast, Honduras and Nicaragua struggle with elevated poverty rates and economic hurdles. These disparities fuel a distinct regional migration pattern, with people from less prosperous nations seeking brighter prospects and wealthier neighbors. This movement across borders not only underlines the economic contrasts but also shapes and strengthens national identities within the complex tapestry of Central America. The economic reliance of some Central American nations on external powers, such as the United States, has also hindered regional integration. Foreign aid, trade agreements, and economic policies often prioritize bilateral relationships over regional cooperation. Despite the historical, geopolitical, cultural, and economic factors that have contributed to Central America's fragmentation, there have been certain efforts to promote regional integration and cooperation, like the Central American Integration System, or CICA. Founded in 1991, CICA, or Central American Integration System, aspires to nurture peace, democracy, and economic growth across Central America. Its membership encompasses all 7 Central American nations and the Dominican Republic. While CICA has made strides, particularly in disaster management and security cooperation, the journey toward comprehensive political and economic integration in the region remains an ongoing challenge. Trade deals such as the Central America-Dominican Republic Free Trade Agreement, or CAFTA-DR, have aimed to foster economic cooperation within the region. However, economic disparities and differences in export profiles have limited the full potential of regional trade. Security cooperation. Central America's turbulent history, marked by civil strife and violence, has placed a strong emphasis on security cooperation in regional integration endeavors. Initiatives like the Central American Armed Forces Conference, or CFAC, are pivotal in bolstering regional security mechanisms. So you see, Central America's division into separate nations is a product of a multifaceted interplay among historical legacies, geopolitical complexities, cultural richness, and economic disparities. The echoes of colonialism, territorial disputes, foreign interventions, cultural diversity, wealth gaps, and external influences all coalesce to sustain distinct national borders and identities within the region. While Central America has endeavored to foster regional unity and collaboration, formidable obstacles persist. Addressing these challenges mandates a nuanced comprehension of the region's intricate history and dynamics, coupled with a resolute commitment to nurturing cooperation and solidarity among its constituent nations. Ultimately, the path to a more integrated Central America involves recognizing and valuing the diversity and unique identities of its member countries, all while striving toward shared objectives of peace, prosperity, and development. It's a journey that calls for harmonizing the tapestry of Central America's complexities into a cohesive and inclusive regional narrative. Is a unified Central American nation an unattainable dream, or could the region someday overcome its divisions? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Share your insights and ideas in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join us on more mind-expanding explorations.